So you should have all had your little recording note. So this is today's card. It's the last one of our blending for the month. I haven't figured out what I'm doing for next month yet, but hey. So it's very simple. So supplies you need is coloured cardstock for your base card. So a sheet of that, sheet of white, and inks. They can be same colour but different tones, or you could just go mad and have lots of different colours. It's really up to you. So I've got this one's blue. The next one I'm going to do is yellow, which could be interesting. Hopefully it won't be so in your face, but never mind. So to start, we're going to just cut everything that we need to, which is really straightforward. So we're going to cut a standard C6 base card. And this is where I pray that my trimmer and the blades hold out, because I don't know how many sheets of cardstock I kind of had to keep trimming this weekend. So it's the usual on long, so we're going to cut it at 14.9. Turn it and score at 10.5 centimetres. So that's our base card. And then for the white, you need 3 lots of 10 by 14.4. And there is a reason behind that. So you've got one for the front, one for the inside, but cut another so that we can use to make the panel on the front, and also trim down to decorate the envelope and also the inside of the card. Saves you having to get everything out again to do the envelope and the inside of the card, which is what I did. So my original here, this is a separate blending, and so is that. But my plan is we will make this bigger so that we can cut that panel out of it, and then we'll have enough left to decorate the card and the inside of the card. So it saves us getting too messy. Okay. Right. So you need to decide whether you want your waves going across or down. So I want mine going across. So I'm going to work with my piece of cardstock, white cardstock, in a vertical position. So you want to tack that down either with washi tapes, post-it notes or whatever, to the thing on the bottom, your grid paper or your sticky mat or whatever it is that you're using. I have some magic tape. I need those. And then next, we're going to make our wave. Now, where's my book that I wrote all the instructions in, because I stuck mine in there so that I wouldn't lose it. So this was what I made for mine. So you want one sheet actually, you don't need this bit, thinking about it. You just need a piece that is wider than your cardstock. So it needs to be, I don't know, 15 centimetres or so. I'm just going to cut this in half. Right. Gonna cut it out. How did I do this out? It's not very wide at all. I'm gonna cut it at 15. Okay. Now you could do this out of acetate or anything else. I mean, if you make it out of acetate, then you've always got it. Whereas I would throw this away once I'm done with it. So what you need to do is cut. If you've got a die, great, use a die. If you haven't, then just do what I'm doing, which is basically in half, and just try and keep it continuous cut so that there's no sort of weird blips, and just make a sort of wavy pattern going across.
So are we wanting our half sheet portrait or landscape?
You want it so that it will go across this.
You're going across the way, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's because I want my stripes going across.
Right, yeah.
If you want them going down, then you would be doing it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. In which case you'd want it a bit more wider than the whatever it is you're going across. Actually, I'm gonna maybe I won't do the bottom. If I put tape on the bottom, you will not be able to blend right across the bottom because it will go over whatever you're using to tack it down, unless you put it underneath, which is what I'm going to attempt to do. Let's see how that works. But you don't want any of it over the top. I will have to move that tape up there later when I get there. Okay, so once you've got your, need to move this up so you can actually see it. There we go. Okay, so once you've got this here, you are going to have to use your hands to use it, keep it in position. What we're going to do is we'll slowly be moving it left and right and upwards, because you don't want to have, although I did manage it here. You see, I've got the same wave. So you're going to start with your first colour and start on this piece on your, and bring it down. So you're going to have it darker at the top and lighter at the bottom. So let's see, what shall I use? I've got crushed curry. Oh, what do you reckon? Peach pie and calypso coral. They could be quite nice, I think. Although I do have Daffodil Delight. Maybe I'll use Daffodil Delight instead of crushed curry because my cardstock is Daffodil Delight. So start with any colour that you like. It's really up to you. So I'm going to start with Calypso Coral, which is a bit lumpy. But hey, so you want to ink up your brush and then start off, try not to put your elbow in the ink, which is what I nearly did. Start off on your scratch paper and just in circular motions like we've been doing. Just blend in. This is where my lumps are not going to help me. Oops. And try not to move your paper. But you, as you see, just that first going over, it's actually quite bright already. So you can go as bright or as dark as you want, or as light or as dark as you want, so I should say. So I want a slightly dark top. So I'm quite happy with that, apart from the blobs that have gone and made a bit of a mess of it. Keep that ink pad because you will use it again. because we're working our way all the way up to the top. So for the next one, you want to move your paper up, and also left and right, so that your lines don't mirror that line. You want to have it something slightly different. Yeah.
Yep.
Does that make sense? And you can make this here as wide or as narrow as you want. Bearing in mind, if you're doing it really narrow, you are more likely to get your next colour onto the top of this or your previous one. And by working down and going lighter, you will have more of a distinct difference. But it's up to you. You can blend them completely at that point. Let's see, I'm going to go.
And are we
there.
protecting the bottom stripe?
No. No. But you're only bringing it down as far as here.
Okay.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go, I might do peach pie next, see how that goes. I'm not using a different blending brush either. I'm just using the same one. And again, start off and then come on. Remember to try and hold that in place. And you can remove it and see how you're doing. And you're going to basically work all your way up using those three colours. You're okay with this, Hilary?
Yeah.
Does it make sense, I hope?
Yeah.
Good. So once you've done your first three, then you start all over again with the colours. Silence. So we all do this. I think that will do. Do you remember what order I did mine in? Yeah. I was going to say you could also reverse your paper, but you're more likely to get ink on the on your cardstock as a result. You will end up with inky fingers. Quite therapeutic doing this. And get to the point, I think, where I'm going to have to remove my tape that's holding everything down. Let's go that way. Right, if you get to the point where you're almost at the top, you don't need to use this anymore. And you can actually unstick your paper, your cardstock. The reason being, we're going to have to do the last bit without a mask because all you're doing is the edge and taking it as far as that bottom, that first line. So you can turn it and just simply start at the edge and then go in. Like so. How's everybody else doing now?
Okay. Yep, done.
You done? How are you doing,
Yep.
Tricia?
I'm sort of fiddling, darkening some of the strips, but apart from that,
That's
yeah,
okay.
I'm covered.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut the panel for the front and then the two bits to go on the envelope and the inside. So from memory, actually it doesn't measure it because I can't remember. The panel, this piece here, you want to cut 5 centimeters off. So that's what you want. So 5 centimeters. put the other bit aside, and then this should be 13.9 going top and bottom, or you can call it 14. So you're going to have to take a little bit off, and you can either take a little bit off the top and the bottom, or just one of them. It's up to you. I'm just going to take a bit off the bottom there. Like so. And then if you want to darken those edges, you can do so, and just blend one of the darker colours. I literally just use my, like that, just brush the edges. And then it will stand out slightly more because it's not layered on anything. It'll be fine. Don't put your blending brush away just yet because you'll be using that for the sentiment. So taking your base card, you want to burnish it on that fold. And then you want to glue one of those plain pieces of white cardstock to the front. And then you want to decide where you're going to put this piece. You can put it left, right, in the middle. It's entirely up to you. I quite liked it to the left, but don't let me sway you that. And I added this with dimensionals, so there's a gap there. So we're going to glue that and then add that. I'm going to have to add mine there now because I've managed to get ink on that white. Hopefully not from my hands. You don't have to add hundreds of dimensionals, but they're your foam pads, so it's up to you really. If you want to go mad, you can. One level. Okay, that's that. So that's that on there. The piece that you've got left over, you're going to cut a 1.5 inch strip, 1.5 centimetre strip to go on the inside of your card. So you're going to cut that. Add it to your other piece of white and then glue it inside the card. And then this piece you can use to decorate your envelope. So you can either leave it like that or cut it down and have it going down the edge of your envelope. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does.
Well, if you stuck your dimensionals on the right bit of card.
Oh.
Cut it to the right size and then stuck the dimensionals in the other bit.
Oh dear.
We're getting old and senile.
There's no way that you are senile.
Yeah.
So that's the inside of my card done. I figured it was a lot easier to do it this way, using that extra piece of, just using that larger piece of cardstock, than it was to try and do it all individually. And I need an envelope. One envelope. This is not going to be long enough to go along the bottom, but it's definitely long enough to go across, well, up and down across the edge. But I think I'm going to chop this down to 2 centimeters because I don't want it quite that wide. So that is going to go on the edge of my envelope. So at least that's decorated and coordinates nicely. And it will need trimming as well, so it's too long. So the last thing to be done is to add a sentiment. So for mine, I stamped happy birthday on a piece of white cardstock, and then used the whatever blending brush or whatever that I'd used for these. I just basically blended all over it. I didn't even bother re-inking it, because there was enough on there to do that. But you can do whatever sentiment you want and add some embellishments. So I'm going to stop the recording for the time being, and then recording. Okay, so we're back with the cards to share now that we've finished them. So Hilary, would you like to go first?
I will.
Oh, that's nice. That's very pretty. Yeah, I like that very much.
Oh, lovely.
That's yeah. Lovely. And you stuck your bit on your envelope as well, presumably. Yep. Excellent. There you go.
You used that squishy sponge to get the texture.
Yeah, my toilet brush, yeah. But I also used some of these as well.
Daubers, yeah.
Just on the edges. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. I like that.
Yeah,
Trisha,
lovely.
would you like to share yours?
I know it looks more sort of maritime than anything else, but I've gone butterflies because it's me.
That's fine. Oh, nice.
Put some stamped butterflies there and the brush brass ones.
That's fine, yeah.
Strip inside and strip on the envelope as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's nice. But as I say, it's nice that you could do it you could do a rainbow going up, you could do all sorts of things.
Yeah, it's very versatile.
And then mine. So that's mine.
Oh,
pretty.
That's pretty.
It kind of looks like the desert, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. Needs a camel. Needs a camel on it.
Sand dunes. That's the inside. And then there's the envelope.
Cactus would do as well.
Yep, oh, that's true. That would have been fun here, wouldn't it? Or just there. I don't have any cactuses though. And then obviously that was the original. So there we go.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay, so next week's March. So there will be a new link.
Okay.
Okay, and a new list, depending on what I decide that we're going to do.